إن لله عبادا فطنا طلقوا الدنيا وخافوا الفتنا نظروا فيها فلما علموا أنها ليست لحي وطنا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I shall speak about the importance of knowledge and why we should continue to seek knowledge. Knowledge is an obligation and an honor for a Muslim. A Muslim believes that exercising his mind and seeking knowledge and discovering the signs of Allah in this universe is an obligation. It is written in the Quran, Surah number 35, Ayah number 28. Those who truly fear Allah among His servants are those who have knowledge. It is narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, seeking knowledge is a duty on every Muslim. Knowledge can be both of Islamic teaching and of worldly affairs. Nowadays, knowledge is available to us at our fingertips. But the truth is, not many people take the same amount of advantage of knowledge as the people of old who used to travel miles for a small hadith. It is also written in the Quran, say, are those equal, those who know and those who do not know? It is those who are endured with understanding that receive admonition. The true Muslim is either a scholar or a seeker of knowledge and cannot be anything else. Now let's say after you complete school, college, and you have earned your diploma, life does seem good, doesn't it? Well, at this time of life, do you think you should stop learning? No, you should not. You may seem like you know so much, but there is so much there is yet to learn. There's so much in the world that you should learn. Not only your worldly affairs, not about knowledge that only applies to you, but the knowledge that applies to everyone else. This is what a true Muslim does. The true meaning of learning is to continue to read and study, increasing one's intellect day by day. The sheikhs in Islam never stopped gaining knowledge, yet they had achieved such a high level in learning. Ibn Ali Ghassan is reported to have said, so long as you are seeking knowledge, you are knowledgeable. But as soon as you abandon this pursuit, you become ignorant. I truly agree with that statement. Imam Fakhr ad-Din al-Razi was a professor and was highly knowledgeable in all sorts of disciplines. Whenever he visited a city, flocks of people would come to visit him. Not only one person, huge amounts of there was crowds who would come to visit him. Not only the knowledgeable, but young, old, middle class, everyone would come to visit him. One time he was visiting the city of Merv. There was an enormous crowd of scholars and students. Among this crowd, he met a man around the age of 20 years old. He knew a lot in the field of genealogy and literature. Genealogy was a field that Imam Fakhr ad-Din al-Razi knew little about. So he asked the student to become his teacher. He was going to become the student of his own student. You can see how you can see that he wanted the importance of knowledge for him. He had no sense of ignorance. He was so humble that he was such an old man who was so knowledgeable. He would become a student who was 20 years old. So he asked his student to write a book about genealogy for him. When he asked the student to elaborate on his book, to explain his book, he would sit down at the feet of his student and tell him. He would make his student sit on the bed and he would be sitting on the floor. This incident just not shows the humbleness of the Imam, but also his eagerness to learn more. What do Muslims need to know, and what should they pay the most importance to? Essentially, Muslims need to be able to read the Quran properly, with tajweed, and to understand its meaning. Then they should also know the hadiths, the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, and the history of the Sahaba and the Tabi'een. He should also be knowledgeable in other aspects of life. Every one of us has our own different speciality, or will in due time have your own speciality. A Muslim should pay great importance to what he does, and always be on top of his game. A smart Muslim is the one who achieves great academic success, which raises his status in the eyes of other people. But remember, A Muslim needs to preserve his da'wah in accordance with the spirit of Islam and its teaching about knowledge. We should also work for this importance of Islam. We should not work for the sense like in a job that deals with haram, like for example alcohol, etc. We're not supposed to know about the work. We are not supposed to know about the work that we do. We should know about the work that what everyone does. This keeps enriching our mind and broadens our horizons. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, he encouraged his companions to learn different languages so that they can communicate with other races and people to call them to Islam. One time, the Prophet ﷺ received a letter from the Jews. He did not know what it was, and he surely did not trust the Jews on what they were saying. So he encouraged Zayd, one of his companions, to learn the language of the Jews. So that way he can have someone honest to tell what they are writing and to communicate back to them. But nowadays, it is now more important for Muslims to be proficient in foreign languages so that they can understand what is written about the Ummah and the background of other language other than his own. This will give him more knowledge of his Ummah so he can defend it from its evil and speak about its well-being. So now I hope that you all continue to seek knowledge, not only in your school years, but until the time of your death. You will keep on learning and never stop learning. So I would like to wrap this up and hope you all for the best. وآخر الدعوانا والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.